need my soul to move. Every step I find my groove. Turn the pain into my fuel. Not afraid. Real life made me concrete. Not afraid. Still standing on both feet. Hard day, but I don't retreat. Hard cold, but my soul got heat. Not afraid. Pressure try to shake me. Not afraid. Nobody came to save me. Big dreams, even when they break me.
Dibs on the redhead.
Take me. I feel like around.
Woo! Yes! It's that time again for the best damn opening in Facebook and YouTube live history. R8RBEAR! Let's go! And you know it's true because it came out of my face. Often imitated, never duplicated. Nah, that fool with no hair that shouts like Ric Flair. Woo! What? Woo! The R8RBEAR! And no mic issues. A first of late. Look, my mic's trying to be finicky. There we go. So what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Appreciate you tuning in. I am your host of said show, R8RBEAR Live. Not that every one of you doesn't know that already. Welcome to the show, YouTubers and Facebookers. But without further ado, I think that's French. I think that's why I don't know what it means, although part of my nationality is French, so it's embarrassing. British! R8RBEAR Live, first comment. MVP tonight goes to You're gonna get my dogs upset. S.A. Big Dog. Sup, brother? Welcome to the show. Always there for R8RBEAR. And tonight, messing around winning the gold medal. Second place, my silver medal goes to the reigning, defending, 5-emoji making son of a gun, Mark Vargas. What's up, champ? Welcome to the show. Always there for R8RBEAR. And of course, even though S.A. Big Dog did embarrass you tonight, there will be no shot at the belt unless he can do it like 2 or 3 more times this week. If he gets you 2 or 3 more times, though, got to give the title shot as the #1 contender. Get in here, S.A. Big Dog. Third place, my bronze medal goes to John the Lion. Leon, always catching L's, but never taking losses. My guy, John the Lion. Leon, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. You know, John, I'm going to need your input tonight because I got some stuff to say. And it's not all of it's bad. Some of it's really good. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's out there. Honorable mention to my good friend and fashion designer, Jesse Parker. JP, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Always there for R8RBEAR. Wait a minute, let me put him up. Woo! What? And Mama Bear and Little Cub say love to my guy JP. All right, so moving forward to Facebook, because that was my YouTube champions. First place, number one, numero uno, El Jefe. Speak of the devil, I'm going to show you right here. Jesse Parker, my fashion designer. What's up, man? Welcome to the show. Always there for Raider Bear. And you were generally the gold medal tonight because I don't have too many people on tonight because I had my warning up a little bit late yesterday. And so I'm getting some late walkers inners. What's up, Mike Henderson? Good to see you, brother. Bob Standard, I see you. What's up, brother? Second place, my silver medal goes to with my Facebook love, where I got started, and you guys know I love it when a Raiderette slides into the medal round and upsets everyone because there's just too many dudes. Nisi, woo, Tweet Thomas, who may have the most adorable babies I've ever seen. Adorable babies. Well, grandbabies, but adorable. Third place, my bronze medal goes to, and it could not go to anyone better. My family, my friend, Mark Alvarez. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. How you doing, man? Hey, Jeffrey around? Tell him I said what's up. Much love, hugs, and stuff. Now, briefly, before I get started, we do have a lot to talk about. I have a lot of questions for you guys, and I want to get answers from everyone that feels like they have an answer. Don't have to answer, but as I go through the comments, I'm going to try to look for one that I feel kind of touches on the points we're talking about tonight. If you would, please consider a subscription to Raider Bear Family page, and remember, wherever you're watching me from Facebook or YouTube, make sure you click and like the show, or it will not continue to go into your algorithm. Someone asked me the other day why my show's been starting with less people in it. That's why. Because when I look at my analytic numbers, I'm not doing any less as far as like people's attention and views and so on, but they're not all subscribers and they're not all hitting like. And the like is just as important as the subscribe button, because that's what puts that person you're watching into your queue. So just remember, it's not just me. Anything you watch on YouTube, really try to remember to like it if you really did enjoy it so that you get more in the future. All right. So bunch of topics. So first off, AOC is looking pretty good. And in camp, he looks solid. He is picking up Gary Kubiak's offense, which is great news because remember, we want him to be the number 2. Not Fernando Mendoza. Now, we're going to be talking about that subject, though, quite a bit tonight because some stuff is starting to come out. And one of them, I'll just let you know now. Fernando's picking up this offense. I mean, he's really picking up this offense. And I'd like to say that I think the reason for that is Gary Kubiak and his offensive coordinator are designing an offense that makes you come off the ball in 3 to 4 seconds. So in other words, they want Fernando to go snap, then hold the ball, and 1, 2, 3, look, and then 4, and then you make a decision. You're either running, throwing away the ball. He wants the ball out on that 3rd second. So 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, go. If it gets to 4, you've held the ball too long, we're going to get sacks. And even if the offensive line is holding up, so what? I would want to keep that pressure on that he's going to keep doing these 1, 2, 3, bang, 1, 2, 3, bang, 1, 2, 3, bang. And then as we get that established and Ashton Genty, the running game, then I could see this team start to show very early on what we all think we already see. One of the best drafts by this team in its history. We really went out there and got some talent. And now the talent is being put into an offense that is almost like drawing by the numbers. Number 1, you use red, get red, boom, 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 no mistakes. It's kind of like that. Everything is going to be really spoon-fed to all these players. So they get it, even if they have to cartel it down. Cafeteria. You know, think of it like a shortened resume, a shortened menu for the players to memorize and know for options. Like, for example, if one of our backs is in the backfield and he doesn't know necessarily if he's going to run or play or go out in a pass pattern, he's going to know that as a possibility in the first or second play before he even reaches the field. You see what I'm saying? Because the offensive coordinator is working with these guys, getting the offense together on what he's doing so that when they go onto the field, they know exactly what their jobs are because there aren't too many. It's made into 2 + 2 is 4. Oh, okay. I'm supposed to fade right and block on this one. Okay. Oh, on this one, I'm supposed to motion left and then become an option to throw the ball to if Fernando's in trouble, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so they're putting every player, well, except offensive linemen and defensive linemen, but beyond that, every player is being told that you're going to go into the field on almost every play and every occasion with 2 assignments. The first play that Fernando calls or the second, or if he calls the second play and it involves you not being in it, then you adjust that way. If it's the first play and it involves you not being in it, you adjust that way. So you may be a blocker, you may be a weapon, but they will all know that. And so I'm really excited about that. And then the defensive backfield is going to borrow, I'll say, from the Legion of Boom and the old Seattle defense that played there back then. They brought in new players, but they were still running essentially the same thing. I think that this defense is going to run that sort of trust defense where the defensive backs are going to be communicating on every single play. Not we're running this defense and that's it. For example, I know a lot of you have heard that the Raiders are talking about, and they are going to change their defense to a 3-4. Now, by putting a 3-4 out there, that kind of changes what Max will be doing a little bit. If Max is still on the roster, I've made it clear. I don't know how they're going to do this, but if somehow, some way, Max is still on this roster when we start the season, it means that our management somehow found those additional dollars to pay our balance as far as our responsibilities with the stadium. I don't want to say rent because it's a lot more to it than that, but. Okay, now let me say hi to a few people and read a few comments here. Why is it that every time someone gets released or about to go to jail, they associate them with us? Yeah, honestly, brother, I've said this. Raider fans say it, but I'm one of the few that tries to say it seriously. This league and the people that are established in it do not like the Raiders. Now, if you have a board meeting, and at that board meeting, there are 10 board members. And of those 10 board members, 8 of them all get along. And 2 of them get along with each other, but they don't get along with the other 8. So now, if one of those 2 coaches over here, these 2 teams over here is doing things that get out of line, it's glaringly because only 2 teams willing to do it. And the other 8 teams get pissed and constantly complain, hey, how come they didn't put the gold 50-yard line on their stadium for the anniversary of the NFL? Although it's petty, I'm never letting them live that down. The league will know forever that our management went, nah, we don't want any gold on our field. We're the silver and black, okay? Save that gold stuff for those 90 whinies. Killing me. And by the way, how many of you would rather be a Niner fan right now? Think about what they're going through. They spent all the money. They brought in a really smart coach. They got an aggressive GM. Everything's going. And they can't get it done. Win, 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 win. Oh, win, 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 win. Oh, win, 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 win. Oh. So I don't give a damn. Okay? Put foots in them. I don't care how much you win. Why do I care how much you win? My team's in the process of getting better. Okay? You want to joke about that? Well, you're better than us. That's how you feel about it. But to me, you're not better than us. You just got better opportunities, and you never close the deal. We will. When we get there and we get into these playoffs and we have our squad tight, you will see it. And when we make the playoffs, I'm telling you, that's the only door we got to kick open. The only door. Everybody else, barbecue chicken. Go down nice and tasty. Promise. Troy Gill, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Ellis Irving, I'm doing great, man. Appreciate you asking. Kevin Kahu, Hano. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Hi, honey. Hi, kids. Love you guys. Tanamoku, clickbait. I knew someone was going to link Arnold to us. Like you said, they always say we should pick him up. Well, not only that, but the thing I was saying before as far as the league and their hatred toward us, it's not really the league itself. It's the other owners. And they come together, and if they're going to do something or have something done to the Raiders, they can obviously move the commissioner, They can obviously move the commissioner to do it. So. Raider Bear Prime. Dude. I saw all the other shirts first, and then when I saw that one, I threw it up in the air like I just hit a home run. That's so dope. My guy JP, he does shirts on the side as like a business, and every once in a while he just sends me nice ones that that he can tell. He knows my taste, you know what I mean? Because he and I, we hit it off. We both like the same things. We're both father dads, daughter dads. So that's my guy right there. As far as the thing with Arnold Moku, they're always going to link the things to us if the player had any action with us. For example, if Geno Smith was in a car accident right now and hurt someone, didn't kill him, but hurt someone bad, hurt himself bad, they would say, Raiders quarterback Geno Smith, even though he's been on the Jets, he's been on the Seahawks. I mean, he's been on, what was the other one? What was it? The Colts, the Giants, something like that. I think it's like 4 or 5 teams. But hey, former Raider. Whenever they can take a shot, they're going to take a shot. Oh, the crazy squirrels in the house. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show, Will. Brent Knight, long time no see, Bear. I hope everything's all good. It's always all good, brother. I'm doing the Ice Bucket Challenge to support Chris Johnson's former Titans running back. Here he has ALS. Yeah, that's correct, Bob. And that's cool on your part. Clint Kubiak, not Gary Kubiak. Who said Gary? Oh, sorry, that was me. Good catch, Tana. Thank you. Let's go. If you're not a member, especially during football season, you're missing out. Will, I appreciate the love, brother. AOC and Max should be traded. As usual, my guy John, the Leon brings me right back on point. So let's talk about that. Now, as far as AOC, I do not think he should be traded now. Let me repeat. I do not think he should be traded now. And here's why. We have him through 2027. So if it gets to the season 2027, and he has a great 2026 with us, maybe we want to re-sign him. And as crazy as that might sound, it's because Kirk Cousins, who's going to be the starter, okay, that's not changing. I know you're going to see some clickbait, as Tana was saying earlier, about our young puppy quarterback, Fernando, and that he somehow is playing so well in practice that if he could keep this up right to the preseason, that they might even consider letting him start this season. That is not true. That's not true. That is a complete waste of, do not read that story. The Raiders do not want to mess this up. And they could have gone after any backup quarterback, but they went after Kirk Cousins, who we all know has had great success. Well, I shouldn't say great because he hasn't won a Super Bowl or anything. But he's been very good everywhere he's been. And he's had some moments, especially with Washington when he was there, where he was throwing some dimes, getting some late game wins that were all about his drives down the field and keeping the play alive and hitting guys. And he showed a command on the field. If he can do that for us, it gives Fernando at least a full year where he can really learn, really see what Kirk's doing out there, and then maybe you bring him back out. Now, as far as Kirk Cousins, he was really pissed. Just brief story about Kirk Cousins. He was really pissed about the last team he was on, the Atlanta Hawks. Okay, Tana, go ahead. Remind me it's the Atlanta Falcons. I don't mind. Grandpa Bear's all over the place tonight. what's in me. But the the Atlanta Hawks are Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons. Did I just do it twice? I'm just going to admit it. The Raider Bear. So the Atlanta Falcons. Okay, got it. Atlanta Falcons kind of did Kirk Cousins dirty because Kirk thought he was being brought in the same way he's always brought in. He's brought in to be the starter with there being a possibility that they have someone waiting in the wings on the bench that could come and take your job. But even though he had that happen to him repeatedly, no one took him off the field. They all agreed, you're the starter, Kirk. Now bring us wins. Let's go. Protect our young quarterback until he's ready. And he did it place after place, including Washington. Now, fast forward to here after the Atlanta Falcons fiasco, I think Kirk Cousins has just basically learned, oh, okay, I'm at my age now, and I've made over $300 million in this league. No one really wants to make me their starter permanently because where does he fit in? If you send him to a bad team and give him the starting job, he's going to get hurt because they're a bad team, which means he'll hold the ball, he'll take more shots, he'll get more sacks, et cetera, et cetera. And he has to play perfect if he's on a bad team. If he goes to another good team, he's too old. And the good team is looking for someone to be the future. So if he gets there, he gets a year, maybe tops 2. And then you got to look. See, that's the thing that a lot of my audience sometimes they forget. If Kirk Cousins is here with us and he plays like Pro Bowl football, okay, this coming season and makes Fernando stay on the bench, okay, even us as fans, we're not even going to call for Fernando because Kirk Cousins is killing it, putting up 300 yards or so every night. Every once in a while dips down, but it's like 270, 265. So we'll live with that. No interceptions or maybe one in like his first 5 games, throwing touchdowns all over the place. Well, why would we call for Fernando? Why would the audience call for Fernando? Yeah, we want to see him play, but not until we need to see him play. And right now, if Kirk Cousins is balling, why would you bring him in, get him hurt, lose his confidence when you could be getting him ready for when the ship is truly his to sail? See, I love that. And now if you trade Kirk Cousins, you lose that. For example, let's say I said if you trade him, hold on. That whole analogy was meant to say you have to keep AOC. That's where I was going with John the Lion Leon. You should not trade him. Max probably still will get traded. I'm not backing off of that until I see the season start because they've got time. You see what I mean? They could let another few weeks go by and we're all going to forget about it as Raider fans because there won't be anyone really talking about it. Not really. You know what I mean? Other than like how I'm talking about it, that I think that I'm right. They're not going to. I would go as far as saying they're not going to let him stay. In other words, whether he wants to go or not, they need the money that they'll get back from him. And if you see that deal get made, then you'll know I was right, that they are cash strapped and it's an issue. But if he stays, they found another way. Jesse, I think it's a little bit more than 2 weeks before training camp. I didn't look that up before showtime, though. Excuse me on that one. Raiders Unleashed, what's up? Welcome to the show, brother. Gabe Davis, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show. I got Gabe laughing. All right. Heck no on the whiners. I'm just saying. I mean, can you imagine how their fans feel? They're told every year, oh, we're this close. Here we come. Oh, but you got to be quicker than that. Get that fish. No, they suck. Okay. And they're on the downhill. And that's what that no one's really talking about, but your boy is. Whatever window the Niners have has closed. You know it, and I know it too, because whatever they put out on the field this coming season, there ain't no way in hell anybody could convince me that it's better than what they've had the last 3 or 4 seasons. Because it won't be. Their defense was better. Their defensive pass rush was better. Their quarterback play was more solid. And that's because the league's starting to figure that kid out. And Shanahan can't figure out how to unlock him other than to just go for it on stuff. I did say 90 whiny. Easy tweet. Brett Knipe, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. During training camp, do you think we were going to sign a veteran receiver? Well, I think they want to, but I also think they like what they have when they brought in that kid, Jalen Naylor. Now, Jalen Naylor has got a lot of people excited. And in the initial camp we had before the Raiders went on break, he looked really good. He's got great hands. He's one of those guys, too, that he reaches. Sorry about that. He reaches out for the ball in the air. He does not wait for the ball to come to his body. And I've always liked that technique better. For football people, you know why, but for those of you who don't, it's because those armor pads that they wear under the jersey, if the ball gets too close and touches that with all that velocity, it creates a spring effect, and the armor underneath your jersey actually pushes the ball away quickly. It deflects. And whereas if you see the ball and reach out away from your body, catch it with your hands, you can't have that problem. That's why I like Naylor a lot. But in 4 years as a professional, Naylor has never broken 445 yards in a season. Let that sink in for a second. It's a wide receiver, right? I mean, isn't that the whole point? Get yards. He has never gone over 445 yards in a season. Now, he's arguing, and I think this is a fair argument. If I scared all you guys, let me bring you back. I think it's a fair argument that he says that, you know what? No one really let me do what I want to do, though. In other words, give him more plays, give him more routes, expand his route tree. If he thinks he can, then let him show us. What's it going to hurt? But I think Jack Beck, I think he's going to be around. We're going to see him. I love our other wide receivers, but I really like Besh. Obviously, with Brock Bowers, you know what we're going to get from Brock Bowers. We're hoping we're finally going to unlock Michael Mayer next to him. If those things fall into play, I don't know if we need another wide receiver. I would just as soon bring in another offensive lineman or defensive lineman, or maybe even another defensive back. If somebody falls off the wire that looks interesting, I'm looking that route, especially if we're playing well. And to be quite honest with you, if the offense clicks, the wide receivers are just, pieces on the board. You know what I mean? A pawn on a chess game is a pawn. Whether it's red, green, or black doesn't have anything to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Raiders Unleashed said those people are crazy. How good can Mendoza be throwing the ball in shorts and a helmet? Well, to be honest with you, Raiders Unleashed, I can answer that question. It's because when they have been really drilling him in the classroom, indoors, the stuff that we don't get to see, he's killing it. He's killing it. They said basically if they could make a description, they threw algebra at him and he went done. The guy's smart. And I don't want to say other quarterbacks we've had in the past were smart, but weren't smart. But I will say this might be one of the smartest quarterbacks as far as learn information, retain that information, execute. We might have a guy like that in Fernando Mendoza, and I don't really think we've had a guy like that in quite a long time. In other words, when they put plays into him, if he sees something different on the field, they may be able to trust this guy with the ability and the knowledge he'll have that he's shown to absorb coaching and playbooks. If it's as real as they're making it out, there's going to be a lot of people that would want to see him on the field. But because I don't think they're going to let him play, I'm not even sure they're going to let him do any preseason other than a few throws. Coming in the first quarter, throw 10 balls, bench. Next game, come in for, less, probably 6, something like that. And then, then they'll have AOC out there. And then, Kirk Cousins probably won't even throw. They'll have some fourth guy we've hired off the bench or whatever. Not hired, but, off our bench. No way. If AOC hurts his pinky again, it will be the end of his career. Well, okay, but John, if you don't have AOC, you have Kirk Cousins, and then who's your 2? You know what I mean? Fernando's going to come in. You know what I mean? We could end up just wrecking the guy. If they let AOC go or trade him, I would be shocked because they want that genuine buffer for 2 fantastic reasons. 1, it keeps the fans off the team's back. If they see that Fernando's definitely the 3, They know threes don't make the field unless it's an emergency. Okay, so now Kirk Cousins starts. AOC's your 2. That's protection. Okay, so that's one reason it's great. Second reason, no matter who the 2 is, they know less of the Raiders playbook. They are less familiar with these players. Any quarterback we bring in, anyone else we have on the bench will not know this roster, the speed of its receivers, the timing, etc., that AOC has with this team that none of the other guys do, even Kirk Cousins. So if you let AOC go and Kirk Cousins gets hurt, we are in a world of poop. Full Metal Jacket, you remember that part? I'm already in a world of him. It would be good if Max stays, because if you're going to start building a new defense and a new philosophy, why would you want to lose your best player? You know? So I mean, I get it, but I don't know what else the Raiders are going to do. I hope they just find an alternative method of bringing in that extra 14.7 million that they're short. And by the way, most of you watching my show, probably at least at one time or another, were living check to check, maybe had a little apartment, and every time rent was due, man, that bank account was scratching down to 50, 60 bucks. Well, that's kind of where we are right now. That bank account's dropping down. They even if they get the 14.7, or excuse me, even if they're able to pay the 14.7, they estimated they were going to get 25, a little over 25 million if they had made the deal with the Ravens. Now there's no way to, I have no way to tell you, because I don't know what kind of money they're going to get back, because now we have to find a new team to make the deal with. But I can tell you right now, as far as all the rumors you're hearing about Max Crosby, I know who the number one contender is now for Max's job. Okay. Because the Ravens were number one. They had the deal set. The Raiders were ready to go. Okay. They're off the board now. So who's the guy among all who's the team among all the teams that you've been hearing about that really is the closest to potentially signing Max Crosby? The Niners have been talked about. The Jets have been talked about. The Bills have been talked about. The Eagles have been talked about. And Dallas have been talked about. Now, obviously, there's other teams, but in my opinion, those are the only ones that are serious, okay? I can tell you right now, it's the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills have the deal on the table, and now the Raiders are talking to other teams and whatnot. But from what I understand, it's the Bills that wowed them. They didn't say yes immediately. There's no reason to rush the whole thing. The Bills even understood, because they know they just put Max through hell. You know what I mean? He split our fan base of guys that love him and guys that don't right down the middle. And it was totally unfair, because Max had absolutely nothing to do with it. Max had absolutely nothing to do with it. And for those of you that heard that he asked to be traded after he found out that the team lied to him when he asked them, do we have a problem? I'm a Raider for life, right? And they said, yeah, you're a Raider for life, when they had the Ravens on the phone finishing a deal before Max had even asked the question. And they lied to him, then tried to send him off with that lie, made the man have to accept that he was going to be a part of something that was going to be called flock, like flock of birds, flock nation. Get the flock out of here. Raiders! Putting foots in them. But seriously, I mean, you got to keep AOC. I'm coming back to that. You got to keep AOC, because AOC knows the team. He knows the offense. He's been going through it. He's going through it with the team since, start of this. I don't see how you can move off AOC now, especially when he has no control over his contract. He can't force a trade or anything, so he has to sit on his butt or play or whatever we decide to do with him. I think you keep him the number 2, protect Fernando by burying him on the bench, keep the fans quiet and these stupid game time, reporters and ESPN from trying to get our audience and our fan base, the nation, all excited about getting Fernando on the field. No, let him have his year. Having said that, after this, I don't care. I don't care. Even if Kirk Cousins, I'm not kidding. Hold on here. Even if Kirk Cousins got us to the playoffs, I would still start Fernando next year. Kirk Cousins has already shown that he can do that kind of thing. What he hasn't shown is that he can win a ring. But he's shown that he can run a team. He's shown that he can command an offense. He's shown that he can learn that offense and make audibles and so on. He is a very professional, accurate, strong, smart quarterback, experienced up the wazoo, okay, as far as a veteran guy. But I don't care. We signed Fernando to be our future. We've got everyone here now. We allowed him to have his time in the crib. Well, it's time to get the baby out and get him dressed because the man's looking real good right now. If he goes through a whole season with our guys, just listening with this to the plays on every play, talking to the coaching staff, what did we do wrong on that play? I thought that play was going to work. Put him in school. He's young anyway. No one's going to care. Keep him uninjured. Then if Kirk goes down, and guys, be realistic. Kirk Cousins has gone down. He can go down. He is not injury prone, but he's had seasons where he got hurt. Mr. Guy says, as a number one pick, shouldn't the Raiders try to capitalize on his rookie contract years by playing him? Mr. Guy, welcome to the show, and that's a fantastic question. And I have just the answer for you, and here it is. Owners always want that. Coaches do not. So whatever answer I give you, it's sort of like, white or black tiles. If you've got a very young team that had a really bad year the prior year, then maybe you run the young guy out there and you go for it. But we have a lot of veterans spruced around on this team, and they do not want to see that kid go out there and make mistakes and look stupid and prevent the Raiders from having another successful season by no fault of his, other than that he's just young. You know what I mean? Dak Prescott came in his rookie season. He broke rookie records. And look what it did. He's done nothing with it. He's done nothing with it. I would rather him sit, no risk of injury, learn everything. And then if Kirk even so much as waivers, if it's week 7, it's week 8, then you talk about that. I would rather it be AOC, but at the same time, I guarantee you the owner would rather it be the kid. But here's the final perfect answer. The owner wants the kid to play because he's paying top dollar and he's going to get all those cheap years out of him. If you find out he's no good in year 3, by the time year 4 comes, you're trading him out the door to some other desperate team that wants a veteran quarterback. But not in year 1. Most owners know, unless the guy does something phenomenal, like Vince Young, Michael Vick, kind of wow you know what I mean? Then you throw that guy out on the field. But Fernando was just good. Very good. But let's all be honest, okay? We saw his college years. He was great, but he wasn't always great. He wasn't always winning all those games. It wasn't always his arm that did that, etc. So I say you keep AOC. You let him start. You give Fernando that season. If Fernando looks great and next season in preseason and at camp and then in preseason games, if he looks fantastic, then take the reins off and let him go. But if Kirk has a great season this year, you've got to think about letting him go into season 2. Then you can move AOC, move Fernando up. That'll quiet the fans down who think, why aren't we playing him in year 2? We got him on his cheap contract. Well, because Kirk had a great year. Still don't want to get the kid hurt. And he can learn more and more. And the more knowledge he has, the better it is for him. My off-screen employees were helping me from off-screen. Sorry about that. So I hope that answers your question. The owner would want it done by want to see him and know what's up somewhere in year 2. It depends on the relationship of the coach and the owner. If the owner really trusts the coach, then maybe you let him sit, part of year 2. But after that, the days of an Aaron Rodgers where you're on the bench for literally 4 years, those days are over. The other owners learned from that blueprint. It very rarely works to wait for them that long. And even though Aaron Rodgers did win a Super Bowl, he won it with a Super Bowl team that was already built. And then after the season that he won the Super Bowl, he's never won one again. Been on multiple teams. He's always this arrogant jerk, and he's done nothing, in my opinion. You won a Super Bowl with a pre-built team. And then as soon as the team did a couple of different rebuilds, you sucked. Yeah, he's got arm talent that's like a Zeus with a lightning bolt on his chest, but it still didn't win. Kenny Blair all the way across an ocean for his boy Bear. And remember, that is the sound you hear every time anyone contributes coin to my show, because it helps us quite a bit with cameras and apps and other bills, etc., microphones and so on. And I really appreciate you all when you can help. Let's see. I sincerely hope that these guys have been doing what is expected of them going into training camp. Let's earn those shields, boys. I would say honestly that there's gonna be probably a pretty uniform attitude with the players. You know what I mean? It may be the same roster coming back from net last year with some new additions, obviously, and some guys lost, but it's essentially going to be the same team. And they're going to show the new guys, we got to do this because this guy, Kubiak, is for real. He's going to really give us a shot. Now, why am I so confident of that? In other words, why am I so confident that the Raiders team, the players, the coaching staff, from top to bottom, are going to follow Gary Kubiak? Because he got that, wrong finger. I forgot I took off my other ring. Because he got that thing. Okay, when you have the ring, players shut up, listen, and they want to win. They want one of these. And that has not been lost. There's no such thing as an era for that. Whether it was the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, whatever era it was, when that coach comes into the locker room and his players meet him for the first time and he can shine that jewelry, shh, guys, shut up. He's going to take us there. Bill Parcells, you know what I mean? John Madden. Let's go on and on. I'm the grateful my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ gave me another day to live. Thank you, Scotty. We got to always get affirmative messages like that. Carlos Rosas, I like that. As a number 1 pick, shouldn't the Raiders consider playing Mendoza during his rookie contract? Speed up the learning process by playing real-time football. Carlos, that is a thought process that is used, but every team's situation is different. For example, our team is intermingled different levels of year 1, year 4, year 7, year 9, that kind of thing, that you just don't want all those guys to feel like we have to depend on a puppy. All of us guys, because not that position. That's the position that leads you into battle. You know what I mean? You can't look at that guy and not be sure about him. And so usually it depends on the team and the situation. And like I was describing earlier, I'm sure I'm getting to this question of yours late, and I probably already answered it. But unless you get a godlike, college player, and you get that guy, then you could justify, if you're a bad team, putting him out there right away. I hear that Ginty and Bowers are going to have a great year. Ginty has come a long way just in the process of finishing his first season and coming forward now with a better understanding of the training camp, better understanding of where he's supposed to be, nutrition, his food, etc., getting sleep, getting his cue time with the coaching staff as far as the physical fitness part of the coaching staff, the trainers, and so on. He will know better when and how often he should avail himself of those things. I also heard that nutrition-wise with Ashton Ginty, he was very surprised because he thought he was just going to go in there with how he'd been eating in the past it's not a fast food guy. Okay. He doesn't eat garbage, but he didn't have enough protein, didn't have enough this, that, or the other, not enough nuts, not enough veg. Who knows what it was, but he basically came out and said that's made a big improvement with him already. He feels stronger than he has in his time as a football player. When I heard that, I was like, let's go. As far as Brock Bowers is going to be a Hall of Famer. He will be excellent. And the only thing that will hold him back is whether or not the squad is going to be able to come together, get our quarterback together, give him offensive time behind the offensive line to where he can complete plays to Brock, because Brock's going to be there. There's just no doubt about it, guys. We have an incredibly special talent. Okay. Brock Bowers is the best player on this team, offense or defense. And it's not close. And I know not everyone feels that way, but I'm telling you right now, you have to think about what we've been talking about part of the show. Rookies don't go right out on the field and play great. Does it happen? Of course. But the exception is the rule, not the rule. If you put 100 rookies out onto the field and they all get the same amount of playing time, maybe 5, maybe 8, maybe 20 might be pretty good. But the other 80 or 90 or 60 are going to suck. You know what I'm saying? And what we got from Brock Bowers was veteran, poised, temperament, professional. I can't say enough. We have to win a Super Bowl for Brock Bowers, because if he doesn't win it with us, he will win it with someone else. Because remember, he is a great talent right now. We're seeing all these incredible skills he has. He has great footwork. He has a high route tree. He has an intelligence. He understands when and where he should make a move and shake a guy. He can burn safeties and linebackers. And if you bring a corner on him, you're giving a wide receiver an open run against God knows who. He affects us greatly. And remember, the reason I say this is because in year 4 of that guy's career, barring injuries, he's going to ascend and become a Super Saiyan. Only cool people know what that means. He's going to be a bad man. I'm telling you, by the time he gets to year 4, if we re-sign him in year 3 and we're going to keep him into his 6th or 8th year, I will come on and say a prayer. Because if we keep him in our locker room, we have a chance. He's that good, guys. Now, a lot of you watching the show right now have watched me for a long time. You know, we're in year 10, okay? I'm in year 10 doing this. You've all watched me do this, and I'm telling you right now, I'm positive. And you know I don't say that very often, especially about a player and what I see in their future and things like that. But about Brock Bowers, positive. I'd put my Grandma June on that one. And I don't have a Grandma June. So in other words, I'm bluffing. I don't have the cards, but I'm bluffing because I believe I'm going to get a payoff because of that guy. If we get him the ball, we will win. Oh, wow. Michael Charlin's watching you, boy, from the Philippines. Look at you, brother. Appreciate the love. Well, John, you can get another quarterback off the practice squad, but they're still not going to be what AOC is. He's hard. He's been hit. He understands the team. He's been here for years. There's no one else that can really play the 2 definitively than AOC. And I don't want anyone else there because it throws your season into the garbage, potentially. I mean, sure, could Fernando get the ball and maybe end up taking it over and winning 7 straight games and just rolls us into the playoffs on a hot streak and scares the entire NFL? Whoa! Because they will shake and they will shiver when they see Fernando in that silver. I've already got it ready. The promo for Fernando is ready. But AOC got to be that too, man. But you know what I always say, John, you know me. You know what I always say. Neither one of us is wrong. Neither one of us is wrong because we're speculating in what we think the best. I just feel like my answer is better than yours. But I'm not saying you're wrong because you're not, because we could find out real quick. I mean, AOC does want an opportunity. If he were to go to the Cardinals right now, they would just hand him the ball. I really think they would. I think they would just hand him the ball, say go. If he went to the Jets, hand him the ball. You know what I mean? See what he's got. There's a few teams, in the league right now that would do that. And that goes away quickly because those teams that need a quarterback want to get that shored up. So if 4 teams had spots the year before, there might be none the year after, and then AOC's stuck. So we'll see. Gabe says the Cowboys. Gabe, the Cowboys are interested, but I just don't think they've made the kind of offers that some of the other teams have. I think the only way we can keep AOC is on the 53. Don't think he'll make it to the – someone will probably grab him once we cut him. That's one less at another position. Tana, that's a great way of seeing it. I just don't know if that's going to happen. I think they need him. I really do. And the only reason I say that, and I'm kind of holding on to this, okay? This is what I'm holding on to while I'm telling all of you that you're wrong about the AOC thing right now. The only reason I'm saying that is because I just think our offensive line could make a mistake and get Kirk Cousins blasted. And Kirk's not a big guy. He's a veteran. He is very tough. He will even stand in the pocket knowing he's going to get hit if he sees a target and he's going to throw the ball. He will throw it and take one in the ribs. The guy is brave. He's tough, and he's a leader, and he's won games. Okay, he's led franchises. So the moment he comes in the locker room, why wouldn't you respect him? Because I know I would. If I was on that roster and I saw Kirk Cousins come in the room, I'd be like, okay. You know what I mean? Okay. If he's the starter or the 2, that guy can ball. You know what I mean? And AOC can ball a little bit. You know what I mean? We've never really had a chance, not ever. Not in all this time we've had AOC. We have never had a shot at really seeing what he is. He's been put in and pulled out by multiple coaches through multiple offensive changes, through multiple offensive line and offensive quarterbacks coach. Switch, change, switch, change. But now we're going to hold it against him how he's played. The organization can't have anything to do with that. The play design, the blocking and so on, because you didn't get the talent around him he needed. All I'm saying is when I saw AOC in school, that guy's a warrior. And I have said this since day one. If he doesn't win with us, he is going to win with someone else. I'm telling you. And the only thing that'll keep him from doing it is the politics of football, because it won't be an injury, because we've already seen him get hurt and come right back fast and does not play with fear. So if he ends up with another team, if that team is even okay, he will kill it. Now, I will give you an example. If the Steelers had a problem and their quarterback got sick or broke his leg in an accident riding a motorcycle, okay, stuff you can't foresee. So it puts a lot of pressure on the team. They've got to get another quarterback. If they put AOC with the Steelers and the legacy that team has of always finding a way to protect their guy and have a progressive offense that wins games, the way the Steelers are built right now, if you put AOC in there right now, he would win games. Guaranteed. I don't know what I would bet on it, but I'd bet a lot on it. I could see him doing that. I really could. What would be the deal if the Raiders traded for him? It would be less than what the Ravens were going to give us, but not by much. The Ravens were offering us 2 firsts and then like a second, a fourth, and then like cash. The Bills offer, from what I understand, is 1 first-round pick, but then they go a little crazy. It's like 2 second-round picks, 2 third-round picks, a first-round pick the following season, and, signing bonus money where they cover his stuff and the Raiders get X amount of millions to just pocket and pay the Bills. The Bills offered a big package with options. Most of the other teams have been throwing something out there like what the Dallas Cowboys did. The Dallas Cowboys just basically called and said, "What do you want?" That's another that's another organization in decline. I don't care how much they offered me. If I was a wide receiver coming out of college right now, I would not want anything to do with Dallas. Dak sucks. We all know that, but they won't admit it. They keep, flirting with the guy like they're going to give him a new contract. Now they have. And so now he's just going to go out there and give what Dak gives, just enough to not win the game. I can't stand that guy. Jimmy Mata, what's up, brother? Family in the house. Genty and Mike will dominate as our running backs. Bob, I love you, brother. I completely agree. Hi, Casey. But I would say this to you. I love what Mike's going to bring to the floor. That guy's a bad man. Mike Washington is a bad man. I don't know if you guys have seen Mike Washington, but I'm telling you right now, Ashton Genty is going to have a guy running up his back. There will be competition for the one. Now, going back to the question earlier from one of our audience members who said, don't you want to figure out what the guy is right now on his rookie deal? That's what they're doing with Genty. They're giving him every opportunity to be the number one without a challenger. And now they've brought in Mike Washington, but he's not a challenger because he's got no snaps yet. But once the season starts and that guy gets snaps and he starts showing people 4.2 yards a carry, 4.5 yards a carry, 3.3, 6 yards a carry, 5.4, so on and so on and so on, where he's consistently giving you a 2nd and 6, 2nd and 4, and now allowing your offense to relax a little bit. Because when you get the ball on 1st and 10 and your running back gets 6, 7 yards, now the offensive coordinator can call any play. And the defense is completely on their heels. They can't blitz. They really just have to call a base defense because they'll have no idea what the Raiders are going to run if they're on 2nd and 4. Because every play in the playbook goes for 4 yards. You see what I mean? So now you can call almost anything and you're going to get that 4 yards. So if you want to experiment a little bit or, do a little bit of play action, whatever, it's there. I think he's going to bring that to us. Now, Ashton Genty is nice, okay? And I really wanted that guy. He was one of my picks, and then the Raiders picked him. Lost my mind on draft day. I thought it was beautiful. I was really excited because now it gets to show you guys, my audience, if I know football. And I'm telling you, Ashton was the best running back coming out of that class, and he will be an all-star running back. He will, because every team has to build an offensive line in order for that running back to be that guy. Not everybody can be Adrian Peterson or Walter Payton, Reggie Jackson, Bo Jackson, excuse me. Not everybody can be that kind of guy where you don't even need blockers. You just steamroll everyone you play against, every team you play against and every defense, because you're like a god and you can do that. So, but I don't know if we're going to be able to do that with Mike Jackson and Ashton Genty, but it's going to be interesting as you know what. All right, that's my show. Much love. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please like and subscribe if you can. Remember, if you like, the algorithm will keep throwing my show to you. Oh, bam! Shout out to our armed forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, National Guard, Space Force. For all you do, the energy and love of this show is dedicated to your sacrifice. Active and veteran, much love. Raiders! One more thing I say every morning when I wake, I thank God for another day. And today I rise and I thank God for another day. I'm not telling you to be religious, but if you are, remember tomorrow morning, as you rise, you thank God for another day. Because it is not a right, it's a blessing.